welcome back to another edition of Gary's Record Collection, and we are going back to the A&M Library, 1966. We talked on another episode about the pull that Herb Alpert had. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, he had 4 records in the top 10 in May 1966. Everything he touched basically turned to gold, and every act that he had on the label also enjoyed big success. And one of the biggest successes that he had was with this guy when he put this album out. Sergio Mendes and Brasil 66 came out in August of 66. Man, this is what an interesting story about this. Here we've got Sergio Mendes. He's recording for Atlantic Records. He's doing a bunch of jazz albums, and it's like, okay, he's kind of like successful, but not not top 10 or anything. He wants to record some of these songs, have the in Portuguese, but they say no, they have to be in English and all of this. So they got this demo worked out, where it basically had a couple of girl singers, a couple of guy singers, and they basically auditioned for Herb Alpert, who said, "I'm signing them right away." And it was an interesting deal because Sergio Mendes was still allowed to record for Atlantic Records under his own name, but then he could be on the Brasil 66 label with A&M. And this album, it came out in August of 66. I mean, basically it was like it went to number 7. So everybody at that time was just in the mood for this kind of music, and it sold well. It was on the charts for a long time too, and only 25 minutes of music on here. They kicked off side 1 with Masquinata, which is just a great way to kick off the album.
Que eu quero passar, pois o samba está animado. O que eu quero é samba, este samba que é misto de maracatu. É samba de preto veio, samba de preto do. Mas que nada, samba como este tão legal, você não vai querer que chegue no final.
I love that how it goes, oh, oh, and so that is a great song, and that of course was a hit. The single went to, I think it was like number 47 or so on the chart, but still pretty good to get radio airplay. And that's what carried that band a lot, was the being on the radio, being on TV all the time, and they kept going. They put out so many albums. Second song on the album, and by the way, all of these are cover songs. There's not an original on here by Sergio Mendes. These are all cover songs. The second is a combination of a bossa nova standard one-note samba combined with Spanish Flea by Herb Alpert.
This is just a little samba built up on a single note. Other notes are bound to follow, but the root is still that note. Now this new one is a consequence of a one we've just been through, as I'm bound to be the unavoidable consequence of you. There's so many people who can talk and talk and talk and just say nothing, or nearly nothing. I have used up all the skill I know, and at the end I've come to nothing, or nearly nothing.
It's great because if you listen to the lyrics really closely, she's just describing what she's talking about. There's no story in here. She's just like, I'm using all the notes in the scale.
Anyone who wants the whole show, re mi fa banjo better play the note you know. Ba-do, ba-do, tweet-tweet-doo-doo. Ba-do, ba-do, tweet-tweet-doo-doo. Ba-do, ba-do, ba-dee-bom, 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 ba-dee-bom. Tweet-tweet-doo-doo. Ba-do, ba-do, tweet-tweet-doo-doo. Ba-do, ba-do, ba-dee-bom, 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 ba-dee-bom. There's so many people who
It's great. I just love having those two songs combined, having the Spanish Flea references in there just make this a fun little song. Third song on this side, again, these are all great songs, called The Joker, and it came from 1964 musical, The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd. And I just thought the timing was interesting because for a song that's called The Joker, that was, of course, in Batman. And in 1966, Batman was gigantic. The TV show debuted in January, went to #1. There was Batmania all around. So you have a song called The Joker and people are going to pay attention. And even though it had nothing to do with Batman, it's still a really cool song.
There's always a joker in the pack. There's always a lonely clown. The poor laughing fool falls on his back, and everyone laughs when he's down. There's always a funny man in the game, but he's only funny by mistake. Everyone laughs at him just the same. They don't see his lonely heartbreak. No, they don't care as long as there is a jester, just a fool, as foolish as he can be. There's always a joker, that's a rule. The fate deals a hand and I see the joker is me.
And that part of the song, every time I hear that, all I can think of is it reminds me of Goldfinger, the James Bond song from that same movie. It just has that, there's just something in that the Joker is me, and it just sounds just like Goldfinger. So I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe I need some help. I don't know. It's possible that I am going out of my head. Oh, that's the next song that's on the album, which is just an interesting choice. Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Well, I think I'm going out of my head. Yes, I think I'm going out of my head. Over you, over you. I want you to want me. I need you so badly. I can't think of anything but you. And I think I'm going out of my head, 'cause I can't explain the tears I shed. Over you, over you. I see you each morning, but you just walk past me. You don't even know that I exist. I'm going out of my head over you, out of my head over you, out of my head, day and night, night and day and night, wrong or right, I must think of a way into your heart. Oh, there's no reason why.
That's a great song, and it rounds out that side one of the album. And all of these songs are just great. And now, here's the other thing about albums in the 60s. Anybody who was recording an album somehow, somewhere, had to put in a Beatles cover version. It happened on every single album. Pick up an album and it was like, somebody's going to cover All My Lovin', or Norwegian Wood, or I Want to Hold Your Hand, or any of those hits. And of course, it's not limited. It did not escape Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66 because they covered Day Tripper.
Got a good reason for taking the easy way out. I got a good reason for taking the easy way out. He was a day tripper, one-way ticket, yeah. It took me so long to find out. I found out.
Yeah, it's not the original by the Beatles, but it's a very serviceable version of it. And, you know, it's like, it's one of 10 great songs on this album. It's like, I can't go wrong with this. And I'll tell you that this album, having this album, made me like, well, I got to go check out the rest of Sergio Mendes. So now, of course, it was going to the record stores and looking through the dollar bins and finding them, and then finding the stereo versions, because this is the same time in the record industry you would put out stereo versions and mono versions, because so many people had record players that would only play mono, and the stereo was really for the audiophiles, the elite. So record companies thought it was a good idea to put out two versions. So being the collector I am, of course I've got to get both versions. So yeah, Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66, Herb Alpert Presents, that was the first album, and that pushed me into looking for more stuff, and it's all good stuff. We may even see another one of those albums again sometime on Gary's Record Collection. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you again.